Alrighty, folks, this is the Three Amigos. This is where we talk about what's going on in our business. What are we doing today? How are we helping people? And what I want to do today with Dion and Matt is really talk about our main messages. When I look at what the three of us do well, where we are focused on helping, I really see it as this kind of analogy. It starts with Dion. Dion, unfortunately, has the hardest job.
Yes.
He is playing in what I call the parking lot. He is playing in a part of this process where the crash bros probably dominate, where the noise and fear is most prevalent. Dion's job is to get you out of the parking lot, which probably is the safest place to be. You got all your friends, the sheep are comfortable there. And Dion's job is to get him in the stadium, in the stands specifically. That's where I take over. I'm like, okay, you're serious, you're committed. I can take you out of the stands and get you to the field. And then Matt's like, oh shit, now you're a landlord. Let me tell you what you just did. So what I want to talk to these three guys about is what is the kind of main message for each of us? And then probably also hit, what do we think we're missing or need to refine or all of that? So again, this all starts with Dion. Dion has the hardest job, but thankfully he is the best teacher amongst us. So I'm glad he has it versus the other two of us. But Dion, you're up first, man. It's a tough job. I couldn't do it, frankly. I would lose my mind.
I think most of us grew up with someone in our childhood saying, it could have been your father, your uncle, your aunt, your sister, whoever. If you want to find the easy way to do something, ask a lazy person. I'm the laziest person I know, so I'm trying to find the easiest ways to show people that the average person can reach financial freedom in 10 years or less, even if you're not starting from a good position, by doing it, by setting that example of like, you can't be much more average than I am, right? Last 2 years of high school, I was working two jobs. I had a 1.0 something great GPA so I could join the military, wasn't putting in any effort in school. Failed at almost every business I tried as an entrepreneur. I had to learn that I'm not an entrepreneur. And now I'm literally over here in a town, what I'll probably say wrong, Albufeira, Portugal, which is the nicest town of the towns that I've seen here as far as like activities and things to do. Just an average person making work completely optional, resisting the urge to text all of my friends and relatives on Monday and just say, you should have listened to me.
I guess I wasn't on the resisting list.
No, you're full game. No.
No, you get the Pink Panther often.
So. Yeah, often. Yes. And the bar scene and everything else. But continue.
And Matt points this out often and nails it 100%. He says, we're not in the convincing game. So if I find people who are resistant, it's not my job to convince them. Right. And an example is this morning, Business Insider recirculated an article about one rental at a time on Facebook. And I go into the comments and I was shocked. It was almost 50% positive. Normally it's 80% negative, 20% positive. This was like half and half. I almost wanted to tag you, Zuber, so that you could see there were some people out there that support you. But I saw a lot of the negative ones, and I'll just put in, I'll copy and paste it a few times, a thought out response to their poor person's mindset where they're just bitching and whining that someone else is successful. I say it much nicer than what I just did. Yeah. I say, instead of criticizing, here's the things that he shares that you could take away from and improve your life and go from. A couple of times there'll be a little dialogue which turns into messages back and forth, and then they ask questions. 90% of the time it's, they're blocked after they just go into name calling because they don't have an actual argument to have.
No. Yeah. Yeah, again, I couldn't play where you play. I would instantly go to fight mode, right? So it's a place I am happy that I have a brother in arms that is comfortable playing there and also knows where the block button is. So that's good for you. So I'll go next, just kind of the stream here. My once you're in the stands, I love that job. I know you're committed. I know you're interested. Now it's my job, frankly, to test you, right? I'm going to test you. I'm going to say, okay, get a buy box. All right. You don't know what it is? Watch this. right? We go through it. I did a whole 2-hour deep dive on it where I had 5 people do it and we built it out, and it's all there, right? It's 2 hours. I'm testing you. Then I'm like, okay, you got it. Now we're going to build a spreadsheet. Now we're going to start to learn average. Again, Matt gets full credit for this. I've always talked about it being learn average, only do good or great. Matt, again, gets full credit for this. He's clearly the smartest of the 3 of us. Let's be clear on that. Dion's the best teacher. Matt's the smartest, which is odd because he has the least quote unquote traditional education.
It's true.
But I digress. Yeah, I digress. It's just mind blowing how smart he is. But anyways, it's my job to go in and, okay, just keep doing the work, right? And, I don't wear this hat for no reason. It's just that simple. And I really see real estate investing like losing weight, like learning a language, like learning music, like playing golf. It's like, okay, go get extremely focused, repeat the activity ad nauseum. You're bored. Who cares? Do it again, right? And eventually a light bulb moment comes on. The people that are willing to be tested and pass the test and go forward have great results. Our private Facebook group is great. All these deal cards I send out are working. It's proof positive. If Dion can get you in the stadium, you pass the test, are willing to do the work, you will write great deals. And then, oh shit, now I'm a landlord. Now they buy something and we turn it over to the one and only lumberjack. Now the floor is yours.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, without you guys, I don't have anything to do.
Well, you do have a decent portfolio.
I've got that, I guess. I got that. And a job still. But I think that, I think where it comes down to it is, a lot of people get excited about making it to the majors, which is they bought something. And that's something in and of itself to celebrate. Sure. It absolutely is. The question is, are you good with being Joe Klein? Yeah. And Joe Klein was a functional basketball player and he was around for a number of years and made a little bit of money. Or do you want to be Michael Jordan? Do you want to get elite at this? Do you want to understand that it's acquisition, stabilization, and then optimization? It's really important. And I think what Dion does is of critical importance. It's giving people better perspective, also giving them better kind of self-talk if you need that, and giving them generalities that people can easily grasp and understand that it's possible. The second piece is Mike's got to teach you, okay, here's how you get in the game. You have to understand how to buy something. And while it's a process and it might be 3 months or 6 months or 12 months or 18 months, because you don't want to make your spreadsheet bleed, you just want to be getting at bats in the game, eventually you start getting hits. And then it's, once you start getting hits, it's okay, how many more hits can you get? And can you start hitting for power? Can you go up to the plate with so much confidence that the pitcher knows how strong you are and you start making them nervous? The Barry Bonds at bats, the Mark McGwire at bats, the Michael Jordan games. There is not a competitor against Michael Jordan that ever didn't shit their pants before they had to play him, because they were like, is tonight the night he goes for 70 against me? And, and I'm the guy he scored 70 against. And I think that at its core, it's, acquisition, stabilization, optimization. And that's really where we focus and help folks, is getting from I'm now a landlord to, oh shit, I'm a landlord. Now what do I do? And now it's processes in place and stabilization and optimization. Dion's course is fantastic for stabilization stuff. Absolutely is. And generally understanding how to run your business. And then there's the people that say, you know what, that's really good, but I need building blocks and I want to be able to really grow the business. And I want to retire like Dion. I'm just really selfish and I want a lot more things. And Dion has plenty. Dion's thrilled. Dion has more money than he knows what to do with. I just have I have worse habits.
Yeah. And again, I want to highlight Matt, the kind of underselling the importance of what you bring to the table. Buying something, what I can get someone to, is not the goal. owning something for a decade and getting better at it. That's where wealth is built.
Yeah.
Lots of people can buy something and then lose it or sell it because they're frustrated. And a lot of it does come down to operations, which is I'm so glad that the three of us have come to kind of put this together. So what I want to do now is go back around. We'll start with Dion again. And we all have our messages, our talk tracks, but we've all been doing this now for a couple of years together, which is wild to think about. What is something you've shared that you're trying to evolve and maybe talk about it differently? Because it's not being receptive, right? We have our ideas on what a message should be, but sometimes as the teacher, it's not received by the audience. So it's the teacher's job to get better, not the students. So what is something perhaps, Dion, that you're evolving on or noodling on right now that, you're trying to get better at?
So without using any names in the sports ball references that Matt made, because I wouldn't know any of them, I like to look at it like
Jordan. Stop it. Michael
he
Jordan.
did golf in the cartoons, right? The Bugs Bunny cartoon, right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Right. I want to be the owner of the team, the lazy person that buys the assets that are the players that attract the people to the stands that exchange currency for the things that we want as the owner of the team. What I think I get wrong is I retired in less than 10 years, 12 years, but at 8 years, I was financially independent from a really bad position, $89,000 in bad debt I didn't know about, laid off from law enforcement, started a job making $17 an hour, single parent with 3 kids, reached that financial freedom 100% with real estate. No stocks, no retirement accounts, no crypto, not entrepreneurially starting businesses, literally just buying one rental at a time until I had the 16 units that produce a little over 17,000 a month that I'm now trying to figure out how to spend, right? Message down below for suggestions on how I can spend this money. Giving it to Matt's not the option.
That's going to be a long list, folks. Again, let Dion know what he should be spending 17 grand on. I want to see what this list looks like.
So, and here's what I fail at. I did it with real estate and diversified in 2 very distinct ways. I keep my properties at least 10 miles apart next to several economic drivers, and I have my tenants divided into at least 1/3 military, 1/3 Section 8, 1/3 working retired. So I'm very comfortable in the diversification of my portfolio. But it doesn't have to be real estate. A person can invest in something that excites them. Like, don't invest on emotion, but if you're excited, I'm excited about real estate. I can't drive around without thinking, oh, look at that place, look at the parking. How many units is that? If you did, all the ways you can make money with the real estate. There are people who are excited about stocks, crypto, running a business, the service industry of whatever you can provide with the skill that you have in that industry. There's so many ways to reach financial freedom. I think the thing that I would like to get better at is reaching financial freedom is possible for the average person. I did it through real estate. But here are some other concepts that you can apply to these other asset classes that might work to you, might be more attractive to you, might fit your lifestyle better, and you can make work optional.
Yeah. When I think about what I bring to the table, and again, I'm probably best known for how to get started one rental at a time, right? Buy box, all of these things. I really think I do a disservice in not talking about the Get Your Money Right course, which was really foundational. It was the turbocharger, the accelerator, the thing that took us to the next level. If we didn't get our money right, we probably would have been tapped out at 4 or 5 properties, single family homes. And we would still be better off. I mean, frankly, if we got to 5 homes, I would have exceeded my goal, right? When I got started, I was thinking 4. That's why I always talk about getting to 4. And all I wanted was a better retirement at 65. But because we were turbocharging with Get Your Money Right, meaning lower expenses, need versus wants, all of that, I was able to continue buying. And then we did 1031s, and then we built a reputation, and then we borrowed private money. And all of the extras happened because we got our money right. And again, we are obviously going into a recession. I think one has started. Maybe it's next quarter. Who knows? Get your money right is important to set up the building blocks. So I think I really do a poor job of highlighting the importance of that. And, it's just, I don't know. It's an opportunity missed on my part, I think is what I'm highlighting. So that's what I'm missing. How about you, Matt?
I think for me, it really is understanding that this is a services business and that people really need to understand that you need to curate an experience for your tenants that you're proud of. Take pride in ownership, take pride in that you're one of the best, not one of the worst. I buy stuff from slumlords all the time, and I'm absolutely annoyed isn't even the right word. I'm pissed. Like when I see the conditions that they're okay letting people live in, it bothers me. And yeah, it lets me get a good deal. But guess what? I then go spend a bunch of money and make it right because I want to curate a good experience. And quite frankly, my utopia is if you get into this and you start doing it and you realize that operationally this is too big of a drag, it's usually that because you haven't skilled up. It's usually that because you haven't learned the lessons and trained yourself and gotten paid with either time or money. You can do all of this stuff and figure it out all on your own if you want to be 10 years in or 8 years in, or you can pay, buy a course and better understand it and really have a grasp of, wow, that guy's been doing this for 20 years. He wasted the first 10 figuring out all the things to not do. And now I can just jump the line and I can get ahead of that. And that's the thing that I'm most proud of with my course, is that people talk most often about the fact that it paid for itself in the first 30 days. It paid for itself in making one decision. So the thing that I'm most bummed about is that I don't think I paint a good enough picture for folks in how much this can change their life when they can achieve operational excellence, even with 4 units. And operational excellence isn't always just doing it yourself. There are people that take my course that have property managers, but do you know what they know now? How much their property manager is ripping them off. They know how expensive that property manager is. And that's just as valuable to me as somebody that self-manages, because I want you to know that they're probably taking way too much money from you and that there's a bunch of overhead in there that you're not considering. So that's what I need to do a better job of, is telling people, property manager or not, you need to skill up because you need to know exactly what experience you're providing your tenants, what they're providing your tenants, and exactly what the numbers really are, so you can hold your property manager accountable. Because there's plenty out there that are never going to say, hey, so we think this is what's best for your business. They think of what's best for their business.
There you go. Well, Dion, do me a favor. Where can people follow you?
You can find me at diontalk.com and here on YouTube, Dion Talk Financial Freedom. And if you love self-torture, you can listen to my voice on Audible. The book 15 Conversations with Real Estate Millionaires is there. And that was actually a lot of fun doing that.
You want to highlight what you've just completed that we are in the works of doing?
I just actually, and this hurts me because I'm a book nerd. I hate seeing a book that has a creased back, but to narrate this and have the pages right, I just finally finished getting this narrated, so that if anybody had the same critique that I did a video critiquing the book, the book One Rental at a Time. Love the book, love the content, wish I found it sooner. It would have simplified so many things in my path. But the critique was, you paid Amazon a ton of money to have some kind of robot voice narrate it, and with the tone and inflection on the wrong syllable all the way through the book. So I'm hoping that I sound better than a robot.
Yeah. So what he's saying, folks, is Dion is narrated one rental at a time. I'm currently in the works and trying to figure out how to get that uploaded, replace the robot voice. Folks, it's in the works. It does take a while because Audible has lots of checks and balances, but I'm hoping in the next 30 days, the robot is gone and Dion is in. I can't thank him enough, man. That's awesome. Amazing. Matt, where can people find you?
Lumberjack Leland on Instagram, where we are posting daily all of our evictions, updates, and everything. And then we're obviously doing what we always do on our live streams, which is talk real estate.
There you go, buddy. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.